You know, despite the social distancing, despite the layoffs and the uncertain future, the show must go on and work continues in many areas, particularly in the areas of public service, which was especially needed by a group of missionaries from Lubbock's Harvest Church who were doing work in Honduras and ended up getting stuck there for a bit. That's all when the virus started spreading and Honduras closed their borders. But they ended up calling Lubbock Congressman Jody Arrington, and his folks got to work and helped the mission group get back home. Arrington told us it's all part of his job.
Folks reached out to our office, and we were able to work with the State Department and the embassy there in Honduras and facilitate their safe return to Lubbock. And, you know, Brian, our office, a lot of folks think what I do revolves around legislation and policy making, which is a large part of what I do, especially here in Washington. But a big chunk of what we do is provide services to folks throughout the district like this. And it's seniors who need their Social Security check that hasn't come in and they're living paycheck to paycheck. It's farmers who have issues. It's veterans who need to get to see a doctor. We resolve about 700 cases a year. So I want to encourage my constituents, my fellow West Texans, to avail themselves of this service that we offer back throughout the district, not just in Lubbock.
And by the way, if you need help with any of those things, you can go online to arrington.house.gov or call the D.C. office toll-free at 888-217-0281. So we're all finding a way to do what we have to do with this going on, and that includes the local legal community. Technology means court cases and county business won't be in quarantine until this is all over with, but there are some rules that we should know that goes along with that, and KAMC's Kelsey Pittman shows us.
Emergency court cases that need to be heard during this COVID-19 pandemic are being done a little different. They're using technology like this company, Zoom, instead of a courtroom.
We've still been operating. We're conducting all of our probate cases either by telephone or by this technology we have here with Zoom or with Microsoft Teams.
The judge determines how it's handled. Attorneys are noticing some of their cases are getting pushed back.
Now we're getting these cases moved to an indefinite date. We don't know when they'll be, or they're in the summer or they're next month. A lot of mine were set for April. But now we're seeing that those are probably going to be pushed again.
The process is working, but definitely not ideal.
Really hard to try a case telephonically, entering exhibits into evidence, and really getting to cross-examine a witness over the phone is obviously much more difficult than in person.
Also coming up with other ideas like virtual mediation to keep from getting backlogged.
Being able to continue doing mediations right now will help these people get a resolution in their case. All you have to do after that is get the court order signed, but the mediation can be binding and in effect at the time it's signed.
These aren't the only changes. While Texas is under a state of emergency, if you are convicted of committing a felony during this time, your punishment can be increased. For example, if you're convicted of criminal trespassing, normally a Class B misdemeanor.
And that would be raised to a Class A, which could carry a sentence of up to a year in incarceration. So in that instance, the maximum punishment doubles. And a fine on a Class B would be up to $2,000, but on that Class A could be doubled to $4,000.
As social distancing continues, when it comes to CPS cases, those rules and guidelines stay the same. You are still in charge of taking your kid to and from where they're supposed to be according to your custody agreement, even if the city is on stay-at-home orders. Reporting in Lubbock, Kelsey Pittman, KAMC News.